Awesome. Recording now. Awesome. So, once again, if you guys want to maybe introduce yourself, Duffs and Donk, feel free to do that now.
I'm Duffs.
Cheers. And Donk, I've so helpful. Absolutely helpful. So helpful.
Once you said you were recording, I thought this is my perfect chance to fuck everything up.
Yeah, just an opportunity just to ruin everything that I've just literally spent 4.5 minutes just explaining what basically is going to be going on.
Yeah, I was going to let it slide, but you presented the opportunity to me, and I thought, fuck it, let's go.
Yeah, maybe that's something I need to just work on and just not present any questions to you, mate. Maybe that's the best.
What you could do is stop inviting me on every week. That would be good.
that would be good. I mean, you'd probably you'd be able to just kind of have a free evening. I mean, to be honest, I don't actually know what you get up to in your evenings. That voice right there, Jesus Christ.
Not much, mate. To be honest.
Yeah, that's kind of standard.
I'm missing Emmerdale tonight. Like,
you're missing what?
Emmerdale. It's rough.
What?
I'm missing Emmerdale tonight for the podcast.
I have no idea what you said, mate. I have no idea. It's some Irish program, I'm assuming.
Emmerdale.
Is that what you said? Did you say Emmerdale? Is that what you said?
Yes, about 4 times.
Oh, okay. I just heard Emmerdale, and I was like, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I was saying it so much that I thought, is it really called Emmerdale, or am I fucking this up?
No, it is Emmerdale, but it's just you're just saying it so dumb, like so wrongly. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, I don't know. There's kind of crazy for sure. Emmerdale. Exactly, Gofin. That's exactly how I heard. I just heard Emmerdale. I'm like, what is going on? I don't know what's going on here. This is possibly the worst introduction to any podcast.
I think this is racist. What's going on in the chat here?
I don't think that's what it is. I think it is. But yeah, I don't think that's what it is. Man, I wish I actually had mods in the chat. You know, that'd be kind of helpful. But yeah. Yeah, so let's get this kind of started. Let's start talking about kind of where will you upload this podcast, Gareth? So we're probably going to be uploading it on YouTube, depending on how it goes. We discussed before about kind of what the plan is about uploading podcasts and stuff like that. And yeah, so that's kind of what we're looking at doing. We'll once FIFA's actually out, we're going to make sure that uploads are a lot more consistent. I think is that fair to say, guys? Is that fair to say?
Yeah, 1 a week at least.
Yeah, 1 a week at least. What are you planning?
Well,
24-hour podcast stream.
Man, Emmerdale is none at weekends, man. I'm free.
Yeah, 48
if anything like today happens, we'll be on here a lot more. I think.
Exactly. It's gonna be good for sure. Awesome. So I think we should probably start talking about kind of the main topics of the week. The few things we want to kind of go over this week. Ratings, FIFA 20 ratings has been a massive thing. That's kind of happened since sound like he's eating the mic. Go things all the way down his throat, mate. He's got about 4 inches down his throat right now. So player rating is going to be going over that, leaks, that kind of thing, and then also comparing leaks. So something that if you guys have slept under a rock today or not been on Twitter at all today, a lot of people have been talking about leaks and how fair they are and kind of just the whole topic of that. So I think we're going to be starting with ratings, kind of going over. Lose the other two. Should help. Like, Jesus Christ, Jake. That's appreciate that, man. A lot. Appreciate that a lot, dude. Appreciate that a lot. But yeah. So I think let's start with the player ratings. I think so. Let me just player ratings. Donk's Twitter. See the key place. I don't know if anyone has made like a massive graph or not graph, but a massive like design of all of the actual players released so far. But what do you guys think about of course the biggest thing being Messi and Ronaldo's ratings. What do you guys think about that?
No, before we start, this is probably not ideal, but I haven't seen a single rating. I've been avoiding them. I don't want to see them. It sort of ruins the hype for me, so I'm going to wait. So I haven't actually looked at any of the ratings.
That's the biggest lie of this year. There's no way. I know you can probably like avoid like putting the avoiding words and stuff, but there's no way you could have not seen any of the ratings, surely.
I've just got too much time, man. Just doing all the things.
Too much time. Yet you're going to record this podcast. Let's just go back and like just redo that a sec. Donk, does he know he's muting himself? He probably Donk. So if you guys don't know, Donk mutes himself all the time.
No, yeah, I know.
Okay, good. Yeah, Donk, what do you think about those two big dogs?
Well, Messi was quite interesting to see. Obviously, slight pace downgrade like the rest of the La Liga, it looks like, but his passing. This was the first thing that I was being talked about. As I say, his in-game stats were the first thing that we got. So his crossing, I think, has gone up 10. I want to say. Like his passing, that was why it took so long for him to be decided, because his passing is upgraded massively. It was 88 this year, and now it's 92. I want to say. I think that's what it came out as. So his crossing was like 77 this year, and it went all the way to I think 88 now, or something around that. But yeah, his passing is just insane. Yeah. His stamina's also gone up to 75, which is still not amazing, but it was 72, so there is a little increase there. Other than that, he still looks like a decent card.
Yeah, I think that's something that's kind of been like one of the most common kind of trends for these kind of player releases, and like the passing seems to have gone up a lot on them. Some other players as well have had a much higher passing increase across the board. I mean, Duff's of course you not helping out on the situation at all by not actually looking at anything. But yeah, I think it seems like the passing has gone up a lot more. I think that has happened for, is it Neymar as well? I think Neymar's had quite a big passing increase.
Has anyone actually seen like Neymar's card in one of those screenshots, or
yeah,
because
so wasn't Neymar on one of the game releases? One of his game.
I don't know. I haven't seen him. I just seen a picture of Neymar, as in like a PNG image. So I don't know. Oh, if you can find that, I will have a look. But I haven't actually seen the screenshot with him in there, so I'm not entirely sure whether it's real. That's what I said to other people as well. See, Martial is fake. So is Willian. A lot of the cards that were separated into like a PNG format, like that you made the card on FUT or whatever. Yeah. A lot of those are fake. They're not real. They just appeared at the same time, so everyone thought they were real. The only ones I would believe were the ones taken from the actual game screenshots, because obviously, if you looked at the La Liga cards, Bale, Benzema, and things like that, you'll see the exact same cards that I tweeted with the new images and things like that. So I'm not entirely sure if I might be wrong, because I might not have seen the Neymar one, but he might not be real.
I've sent a link in Discord of the Neymar image, so maybe that's for you to have a look at. I think so. That image was, of course, from I think that was a verified image. I'm not too sure, but if that is, I mean,
so are you saying the Martial's fake?
yeah. Oh no, yeah. No, I didn't. Jesus, where did you find this image to?
Well, he literally tweeted us it yesterday. You just got too many notifications here. Too many notifications of on Twitter.
Because I've seen the draft one, but not the draft fully completed.
Okay.
Because I remember seeing that first starting 11, but I don't remember seeing a bench. No, okay, no, yeah, that looks real to me, to be fair. Yeah. So yeah, that looks like his card, because that is Messi's card.
Yeah.
Busquets and Hazard.
That's Hazard's card as well, which is what I was thinking. Nature I've indeed. Yeah, that Martial and Mbappe combo looks unreal. Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure there's been no Mbappe leaks. I'm pretty sure that's pretty accurate. I don't think anyone's leaked any Mbappe's yet.
No, that's fake. That's what I was on about as well.
Okay.
There was a 90 rated striker Mbappe going around. That's fake. Because there definitely hasn't been a screenshot at all of that.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of those kind of ones. In fact, I haven't really seen many like League One releases at all. I think it's been pretty much mainly the, of course, like you did a lot on the La Liga, which is kind of where it all started, and then a lot of Premier League stuff. But there hasn't been many major League One releases. I don't think. I think that's pretty accurate.
No, there hasn't. And BPL's only got out because of that gameplay.
Yeah. What's your? So I know this is kind of going a little bit off what we kind of discussed earlier, but kind of. I know you've mentioned this before. What's your kind of opinion on the whole? I think you were talking about this in the stream yesterday about how EA are saying that this is basically just a kind of like it's not a that no one's actually got the game. It's just a kind of leak thing. But then we're seeing more and more images. What's your kind of opinion on that?
It's a cover up.
Yeah,
It's a cover up. I understand what they're trying to say. What they're trying to tell you is correct. Not everyone in Spain has a FIFA 20,
Yep.
and that's not what we said, and that's not what I said. And they're completely taken out of context to just try and let it, blow over as if nothing ever happened. But they know there's a problem. I know there's a problem. Other people know there's a problem, but they've just chose to ignore it. Like today, I had an interesting message. I'll just read it a second. So I won't say who sent me this, but he is a big followed account on Twitter.
Okay, it's me.
yeah.
You got
So
me.
he literally told me I could walk out the office with the game and no one would even know.
Damn.
So he's talking to, I think, the same person who I was talking to.
Okay.
But it's really weird in the way that we were spoken to, because it's like he wants things to get out.
Yep.
He doesn't mind us talking about who he is, what he does. He almost wants it. It's like he's enjoying doing what he's doing, and no doubt he's making money from it. There's a group in Spain where there's a big issue, and it has been for about 2 years. I can't really go too much into detail, but it's pretty insane. It's pretty nuts, and they won't do anything about it because, one, they just can't find who it is clearly, or else they wouldn't still be doing it. And two, I just don't think it really matters that much.
No,
We're less than 1% of the community, aren't we?
Yeah.
Which is why they all have access to my DMs. Corey does. I've spoken to him. Zaro, they can all DM me and say, what's going on. Take all this down, things like that. But none of them have even said anything. So clearly, it doesn't affect them that much, or else they would make efforts to stop it.
Yeah.
If you get what I mean.
100%. I think one thing that has been kind of strange, and I don't know if you guys have seen this. I know, so there has been of course, YouTube videos of stuff, but it's and I know I think you put out a tweet, Donk, about how much would you pay to get the game kind of early, like 3 weeks early, and
yeah.
One thing that I think is really interesting, there hasn't been anyone, I don't think, that streamed it yet, which is like, if you were to say stream it now, yeah, and I think this is what I replied to your kind of things, like, would I be allowed to stream it and not having internal consequences from streaming it? I think if you were to stream it, it would be mental. It would be crazy. Like if you could offer.
Yeah, you would get in trouble. You'd get in a lot of trouble. I think so. The thing is with me posting cards. You can make these cards on Footbin, Foot Roster, whatever. So you have access to make these cards. They can't really do anything. You can make as many or different cards as you want. It doesn't matter. Yeah. They can't stop you from doing that because that's what they are. They aren't pulled from images like they are from the actual game that came out the other day with the screenshots and things like that. That's pulling images from the actual game. Mine are created out from the in-game stats, but you obviously know that they're real because you've now seen the actual in-game pictures of them, so you know that they're real and I haven't just made them up, which was what Instagram thought I'd been doing for some stupid reason. I actually had a lot of apologies on Instagram yesterday. They were like, "Oh no, hands up, bro, you got it right," and I was like, "Right, okay."
Yeah.
In fairness, even I thought they were made up.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing as well. Like, and I know, I don't want to say it. Yeah, so with whole Instagram thing, Instagram's just a whole different scene, of course, to Twitter and to everything else. And there's so many different overlaps of content over there. It feels like you'll see one person post something, and 100 people will post exactly the same thing a minute later, kind of thing. That's a massive thing over there. And it's not of course you watermarked it all, but people could very simply have just, and of course I haven't done this recently. Well, I don't think anyone's really done this, but as you said, you could literally have just sus. As what was I saying? I've bloody forgot what I was saying. Someone save me. Someone save me.
Do you know what's the interesting thing about it? You know how I watermarked the first couple cards, where it's just insane all over the card?
Yeah.
When I did that, after that, the guy who was telling me the stuff was basically like, dude, Like you don't need to. Anyone can make these cards. Just do the image. So you notice how I moved all of my ats across the image to stop protecting the rest of it and only the image face, because that was essentially the important part. Obviously, people still made predictions and then said that they were leaks, but used the older faces. But that's how you could really it almost became like a, if it's got the 3 FUT logos on it, it's real. Because people wouldn't believe other stuff. And then the best thing I noticed was an account. He kept liking my stuff, everything, just loads of stuff in a row, so that I would obviously notice his account. And his first 2 posts were BPL posts that he had made a card up and put 3 of his watermarks on it saying BPL links, OMG, whatever, trying to bait people into thinking that this was the new thing. I was just like,
well, I'm surprised.
On, dude.
I'm surprised you haven't seen anyone make fake leaks and put your name in them. because honestly,
that was another thing.
Where, like, I came very close.
Because it's like so I know you gave me 1 card to leak. Thanks for that. Cheers. Thanks for that sentiment. Rating card. It actually looks sick.
The worst fucking player ever.
The worst card. I speak to Dustin pretty much daily now, and he just gives me the worst fucking one to leak.
I didn't even want you to post that. I was joking.
Well, man,
but you did anyway.
I was like, I gotta get likes, mate. Gotta get likes. I'm a dying Twitter account, man. I gotta do something.
Did you get likes?
I got like 4 likes.
An achievement then? Was that plus 3 on standard? Is it?
Plus 4 on standard, mate. Including my own like, of course. But yeah, no. What was I saying? I honestly surprised that people didn't kind of use your, because as you said, like it did kind of become the thing. Like if your name was across it, it kind of people would believe it was real, and people could have just done that with literally any random team. Like some Turkish league team or something, put your name across it and been like, oh, that photo, put your name across it and be like, this is legit, got them from Donk or something, and just like kind of done that.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one did that, to be fair. That was a
if I'm honest, I never got the idea until you said it there now, but it does sound brilliant.
Yeah, mate, like honestly, I reckon you can get to like 0 to 2K followers in like a day doing it, or 2 days doing it, just because. Just I suppose all the other ones. Like if you put an individual who's handling their red ball, so exactly, Pete. That's kind of why Duff hasn't been talking that much.
Yeah, that's why I'm quiet. I'm kind of like sort of scratching away at my skin and crying a lot.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I think that's cool. So we discussed Messi, discussed Ronaldo. Ronaldo, of course. I don't really know how much I want to say on this because Duff doesn't refer to it. Duff, do you want me to talk about ratings, or do you not want me to talk about ratings?
Yeah, talk away. I like listening to your voice.
Okay. That's kind of weird. So Ronaldo, of course, I don't know how real this is as well, Donk. I don't know. Donk, is the Ronaldo leak, is that real? Do you know that?
Now, I've seen that one as well. Has anyone seen that in the screenshot? Because that came out at the same time. But his image looks it does look legit, like his new player face.
Yeah.
It looks really, really good. And I haven't seen that image anywhere else. I tried to track it down. Because often you can find, obviously, people have just taken it from FUT renders or whatever, but it looks like a professionally taken photo that they have for their cards.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find anything. One thing I do know is Messi is higher rated than Ronaldo, and that's what I got told. So it makes sense that he is obviously 93.
Yeah.
But I was told that a while ago, and bear in mind the database doesn't close until I want to say tomorrow night. It's something around those, and then they lock it all in. So obviously anything can change, but as far as I'm aware, this is not confirmed. So just take this with a pinch of salt. That Messi was higher rated than Ronaldo. That's all I got told. So it does make sense. However, for that card, I'm not entirely sure its legitimacy because I haven't seen it in a screenshot of the game, and I won't believe it until I see it like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's definitely
just because of all the other cards.
Yeah, opinion I very much had. Like I want to say I've like 95% believed all the ratings you put out until I've kind of seen them in game, and then when it's like in game images, it's kind of like it's much more realistic. Like it puts like a realism image behind everything else. If that makes sense.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have, unless I had known what I was saying was 100% true. I wouldn't have posted it. Simply for the fact of, well, you get absolutely slaughtered when you're at this point.
Yeah. You like if it comes out like on like FIFA 19 releases, FIFA 20 releases, not FIFA 19 releases, FIFA 20 releases, and you and like all of your ratings are wrong, like I don't think you could show your face in the community anymore. Really.
No, I go into hiding. Like you know what I'd do, actually? I'm just going to bring this up a second. I'd go into hiding like the other guys who scam people on this game do. One of them being Atom Foot Trader, who decided to come at me today.
Bro.
I'm going to say this because I've been waiting for this.
Not cool, man. Not cool.
Not cool.
He decided to.
I'm going to have to edit this out.
These views are the views of Foot Donk and not representative of the FIFA podcast.
These are the views of Foot Donk. They don't represent my channel. They don't represent me. They fully represent Foot Donk and his entirety.
But continue.
28,000 followers on Twitter.
Yeah, this is all Foot Donk's views. So he came at me on Twitter today. So we're going to talk about this anyway. I don't know what his problem was. Something about releasing leaks early or something. He's just like, oh, I know, why is he doing it? Why is he doing this? But what he didn't tell the people, that this guy follows and unfollows me almost daily to try and get me to follow him back. He last year scammed 3 kids, I think, with a bronze card. He said, buy this bronze card. He had bought hundreds of them. He said, buy this card at 2k. I guarantee you will hit 8k. So he listed loads of these bronze cards at 2k. The dudes bought them all. He made probably loads of money. And obviously they never went to 8k because why would they?
So sounds a bit like natural selection, if I'm honest.
Yeah, so basically he scammed and he got caught out. And then what did he do? He just disappeared. He disappeared off Twitter. He changed his name, everything. He stopped being a foot trader or whatever, and he just let it die for months. And then he just came back all of a sudden, like last month. And then it's just crazy.
You may need to take notes from him soon. you may need to get ready for this. You may need to you may need to just get ready to just kind of just get ready for your kind of your leaving plan and all of that kind of stuff. If you've got a speech written, potentially like an apology speech, just in case.
I'll just do what the rest of them do and just disappear. It'll be alright, won't it?
Come back in 4 months.
I'll go and have a beer somewhere, and hopefully when I come back, it'll all be blown over.
Yeah. That is something I've noticed about the kind of like the whole the beef in the community and stuff. That's so cringe. That's the cringest thing I've ever said in my life. The beef in the community, but like, it's like something will happen, and 2 days later, everyone just forgets about it. Like I feel like it just.
They do. People get away with a lot of things on this platform, but some of us don't forget. And now I could have said that a long time ago, but I didn't because I had no problem with him personally. But it's just a bit of advice for anyone, really. If you can do something shady like that, don't come at other people that might know your business.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. Sure.
Sounds like the mafia, just handing out fucking threats.
Yeah, he's just gonna wake up with a dead horse in his bed.
Don Corleone either.
Yeah, I think Donk. I think no. So AMT just put something in the chat, Adam. It's not the only one that releases legit ratings. Do you want to? I know there are other people that do release legit ratings, but yeah, I think Donk's probably up there with one of the top people that are releasing hopefully legit before everything else goes wrong.
One thing I will say about that quickly, because he's just mentioned Socrates. Socrates is not, as far as I'm aware, isn't 86. I actually got caught out with this today from being sent the screenshot 100 times, but without the top of the picture. So I could only see the team. I thought it was in FUT. I didn't even think about head-to-head because I don't play head-to-head. Who plays FIFA for head-to-head? Like, so, but that's what the picture was from. And then I seen the actual picture and I was like, shit, this is this might not be real. So I contacted someone and asked him, was like, dude, because the database is the same, which is why I didn't think anything of it. The database is the same for FUT and head-to-head. It's just literally when a certain date comes, they lock it, and then all of the ratings for Ultimate Team, whatever, are set. If you understand what I mean, they're put into the cards and they're set like that.
Yeah, that is no turning back kind of thing.
No, and then the database can continue after that, because that's what essentially people do, is they work all year on updating the stats for the live, inform thing for the head-to-head, where it can go up and down for online games. And that's what I think that this is. It might even be true, but he did say that the live form for head-to-head ratings have begun. So that also tells me that Ultimate Team is already logged in, which obviously it is, because you can see the cards I had weeks ago are the same now. So I think all the Ultimate Team stuff is locked in now, but they are still working on forms, which would explain why Leno is an 82 goalkeeper, and the screenshot of the draft stuff, he was an 84. So he's gone down 2 in form, essentially. So Socrates, I don't know what he's done to get an 86 in form anyway, but apparently he literally either he is an 86 or his form has somehow got him to an 86.
Yeah, I'm not too sure.
So the Arsenal stuff, just bear that in mind.
Yeah, maybe they could
It might
potentially.
not be
I don't know. I don't know if they would be doing this, but potentially testing out like new cards or something, like new card designs in the programming, and they need them in a database. I don't know if that's something they would potentially look at doing, and then that's potentially how it came out or something like that. But
on the topic of ratings, is your ratings now finished, Donk, or do you have access to more, or was it just the one batch of ratings that you had access to, being the La Liga?
It was. So the main one, it was actually more, but we decided just to narrow it down. I think we had to be careful with kind of what got out there and things like that. It was fairly easy just to do the La Liga. That was the easiest to get my hands on. So we just kind of went with that. At first, it was only because it was in batches that it was being given to me. It wasn't straight away. I had access to everything. It was in batches, which is why I didn't release cards straight away.
Yeah.
I had to kind of almost wait for stuff to come in. But so there were a few others outside the La Liga that I was aware of. Bundesliga, there was a little bit, not too much that I could really talk about, because it wasn't. They were unsure how set they were, which is why for La Liga I was free just to go crazy, because most of that had already been done. For example, I can tell you that Sancho has changed from a week and a half ago to what he is now. The card he had was not an 84 rated, not for sure. It had developed and has ended up as an 84 now, which is also insane. I don't know.
Yeah, I think.
Does that seem a bit overrated?
I think that seems very high. I think he seems like one of those like hype players. Like comparing it to like, other players, because what was he in? What was his base in FIFA 19?
78, wasn't it? Well, it started as a silver.
It was low. Yeah, it was 78 as an upgrade. So that's a +6.
+6. I think that's crazy. Like I don't think he's. I know he's had 2 man of the matches. One player of the month. 1 player of the month, and that's it. And 2 in 4.
Yeah.
How has he got +6 upgrade? Like, what is that about?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel the original rating that we had was 82, and I feel like that was fair. Yeah. So somehow he's got a +2 out of nowhere somehow. But yeah, so. And then there was it was just kind of weird with the other leagues. So Pepe, I was told, was 5-star skills. And it was just random stuff like that. It was never the proper card images or anything like that. I can't even imagine what would have happened if BBL had got out a bloody... I'd have to shut bloody notifications down or something. Every bloody post, there's always people asking, "Can you leak this? Can you leak that?" Like, dude, chill, man. It's just ratings for a game. You're gonna.
Yeah. I think you could also with Sanchez. Not Sanchez. It could definitely be a kind of like, I don't know if they'd do this. I don't like, they wouldn't do this, of course, but like just speculation of potential marketing for like just trying to make an English upcoming player, a much higher rating than potential, just for the kind of the hype aspect. I think that could be a reason. But
it's weird because I feel like they actually downgraded a few people as well at the same time. Like it's kind of looked like they were making room for informs and special cards, if you know what I mean, especially in terms of pace.
They have done that before.
Yeah, it looks like it's been done this year because you look at the pace on some players and they have got like Suarez has been absolutely slaughtered. They've just gone. It's like they've almost restructured how pace is thought about and how they calculate it, maybe, or they have literally just tried to make room. Because if you look how many promos we had this year, you can easily add maybe even 5 or 6 extra ones because you know they're going to bring it. I can't imagine how much money they make after January, but imagine how much more they could do between now and January, where they usually leave it quite empty.
Yeah.
But that's when people are spending the money. If you get what I mean,
agree.
that's when the most people spend money.
I do think it is better, and I think we discussed this on a podcast before, on like a stream before, about how I think it would be better for the ratings to start off lower, just to give the movement for the bigger players. So, for example, last year Messi had like four 99 rated cards or something, and there's just no hype when the new 99 rated one comes out because it's pretty much the same. Whereas if they all start them lower, it would allow for that kind of growth, and that's kind of what they're doing with the pace, I think, as you kind of said, where like they it's in my opinion, it's a much better way to do it, just because it means that every upgrade is an upgrade, and it's not just it's just another promo card. If that makes sense.
Speaking of Messi, can anyone remember what game we got the record breaker Messi card for the goals record that had 99 shooting? It was like a 91 rating, but it was a fucking brilliant card.
No, I have no idea.
What was that?
It was about
FIFA 13.
It was based on him scoring all the goals. He like broke the record of goals in a calendar year.
Oh yeah, no, I remember that. Yeah. That was, it was like blue and they had like a slightly red background, didn't it? Like in the corner or something like that. That was, yeah.
Is that P15 potentially? I'm looking on. So there's
FIFA 13.
So Lionel
Oh, yeah, it was.
There's a FIFA 13
FIFA
91
13.
breaker, and there's a FIFA 15 one as well, which is 95.
FIFA 13's the one, 99 shooting.
Okay.
Yeah. They just boosted. That was a cool. See, why didn't they do things like that? I hate how they don't use record breakers enough. Like people are breaking records, but they'll only do it for like weird certain things.
Yeah.
It's like.
Plus, 91 rating, they resemble the 91 goals, was cool. They used to do cool shit like that back in the day. Like,
yeah, what were those
Yeah,
cards?
they did.
Were they record breakers this year? It is record breakers this year. You know the ones that like they're all these random cards, but they all discard for like 70k. So whenever you packed one, you were like hype. I've packed one. But during like the end of team season, and like kind of after team of season kind of thing, when like you could get 3 of those in a pack, and you're making like 200k. But and then like a 96 Pepe is going for like nowhere near that, and it's like that was a fun time. Like that's the only benefit of these record breakers, in my opinion, is the fact that they discard for 60, 70k. Like it's crazy.
I always thought that was a bit random. That out of all the cards, that's the one they choose.
Yeah.
And it's not like the other ones have got a high value other than icons.
Yeah.
Like they're almost as much discard value as an icon. It's like,
Yeah.
but he's like an 82 rated card. What's going on?
Yeah. Well, the lowest one is Wondolski, who's 82 rated, 63 base, 87 shooting, 66,000 discard. It's like, what's that about? Like why have they decided to give him that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty random. I hope that they do something with the record breakers next year. But like, we didn't really have any hype record breaker cards, did we?
No, Hamdallah was the only. I think Hamdallah was probably the only one that people may have used a little bit. Just to get 90 shooting. But I don't know.
Yeah, I love that. People hype those cards, and they're like, "No, yeah." I actually seen someone say this is a great investment. I'm just like, he's literally not selling for his minimum, and he is from the Saudi league. He's not gonna do you wonders. People aren't gonna change their teams from BPL to Saudi.
Yeah,
but he was a good card, no doubt.
Yeah.
He had a really good team in the season as well.
He did for sure. All right, cool. So I think that's probably enough about the kind of rating stuff. I want to go on to this kind of question, which I know I proposed to you guys kind of earlier, but kind of so leaks and the whole kind of topic of leaks. Leaks, of course, have been a massive topic today on Twitter. We're recording this on the 4th of September 2019, so just to give you guys a kind of timing of when we're recording this, 4th September. So the kind of whole topic of leaks pre the game being out and leaks in the game. So that basically means the leaks that Donk has been doing, for example, where it's just leaking out player ratings, that kind of thing prior to the game. What's the difference in that and the current comparison of that compared to, say, someone leaking a card where us as traders, someone can maximize a lot of profit when the game's out? I think that'd be quite an interesting kind of topic to discuss. Duffs, do you want to maybe? We haven't heard much from you today. I know you've been struggling without your Red Bull, but maybe I don't know what your opinion on that would be.
First of all, don't worry, I've got coffee here. I'm keeping lubricated. Yeah, no, it's an interesting topic. I suppose. Now, we've got Donk on one side here where he's doing all the leaks, and then you've got people on the other side who are complaining about all the leaks, and this is all the pre-game leaks. Now, see, in my opinion, there's a lot of the word is jealousy. Like
Yep.
it just is true. There's a lot of people that would very much like to be in his
Oh,
position
100%.
with plus 13,000 followers over the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. It does,
Especially going into FIFA
Yeah.
20, and that's just fact.
Yeah, Donk's actually doubled in following since our last podcast, which is
Yeah.
like I was thinking about like if say someone had like 100 followers and they doubled to 200, that'd be that's kind of cool. But Donk's actually gone from 14k to 28k in 2 weeks. Like what the fuck is that about? like and I think that jealousy is a key thing. I think there's definitely a lot of people who are out there just kind of like just jealous of the growth. Really, I think that's
Yeah. No, don't get me wrong. Like as a FIFA content creator, if someone approaches you and says, "Look, I have an opportunity for you to make 14,000 followers in the next 2 weeks by posting leaks," every single person is going to do it. There's absolutely nobody who's going to turn around there and go, "Nah, bro, I'm all right. Fuck off." You know what I mean? Everybody is jumping on that opportunity. Now, what you've got is now people jealous that maybe they aren't either producing content the way they would like to or growing the way they would like to, and they've got too much time on their hands, and all they're doing is fucking complaining about the leak situation, and it's embarrassing. Like,
yeah, I do agree on that. I think it's definitely like there's a lot of people who are have built a following, a really good following so far, and they're just
so
at
it's
the
like
point
me
where
you're
they're
talking
just- Pardon? Yeah, talking about,
It sounded like me.
Duffs,
Were you
exactly.
talking about
So,
there?
so basically, so someone like Duffs, that's just sitting there. I think you just hit 4,400 followers on Twitter. So congratulations to that.
You've been stalking me because I only hit that like 2 hours ago.
I know. Well, I was actually going to talk about it today on stream, but yeah, I think it's definitely quite an interesting thing. Like, yeah, people. So, for example, using you as a topic, Duffs, you've had your you've built up your following. In a kind of respectful way. The OnlyFans stuff has helped a lot.
What the fuck was the kind of about?
Well, the OnlyFans
What do you mean
account.
kind of respectful?
The OnlyFans account has kind of helped you a bit, of course. But apart from that, yeah,
Fuck off.
yeah, so kind of respectful way.
A respectful way.
A respectful way, okay.
Very respectful way.
And
Leaking nudes is
Yeah,
acceptable in this. It's 2019, Gareth, for fuck's sake.
okay, but so if someone say had come to you now on your 4,400 followers and was like, right, I'm gonna give you this stuff here, and you're probably gonna gain like a K a day followers. You're not just gonna be like, nah, I'm good, mate. I don't really want that. You know? I mean, I don't know. I feel like that's kind of what you're saying. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely an interesting one for sure. I think yeah, Donk, what's your whole opinion on that?
What on leaks in general, or
No, on the so maybe going a little bit back to the question I had, where so comparing leaks between
I would say, what is your opinion on the fact that it's very much the FIFA community versus Donk at the minute, when people realistically should be supporting any FIFA content creator who's doing well at the minute? I think I said that very, very eloquently.
Do you want
so obviously it's a hard situation for me to speak about, but look, it's not about the numbers. I don't care. Like, what you'll notice is when I hit even 14,000 followers, which I was on before, I actually made a graphic and kind of, celebrated it like it was, it was a milestone. But what you'll notice, I haven't posted anything. I haven't posted thank you for 15, 20, 25. I haven't posted anything.
Are you saying you're not
you're
grateful?
not grateful.
Is that what you're saying?
Oh no, it's cool, isn't it? I appreciate the opportunity to be the focus point in the FUT community for a week. Sorry.
Yeah, don't blow your trumpet too much, mate. You're gonna, as your comments will say on your tweets, you're gonna be gone, mate. By the time we get out, no one's interested in your content anymore, mate. But yeah.
Yeah, but so obviously he approached me, and then I was like, the first thing I said was, do you want, what's the plan here? Like, why are you just first of all, why have you randomly shown me? And he said that he'd been following me for a long time. He liked how I was with the community. He liked how open and vocal I was with.
He liked your memes.
Like,
He liked your memes. That's what he's saying.
Pretty much.
He was a Pirates of the Caribbean fan, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
It's easy to mention that. He did say he liked that one. I get it. People don't like leaks and things like that. But to me, this was like, the game's not even out yet. You're going to know about half the players from EA before the game comes out. They essentially leak it with a countdown. I was like, well, it's no harm to let people know early what their favourite players and things like that going. But that's just my opinion and my mindset. I don't have a problem with things like that coming out early because I think it's quite cool. I like seeing stuff early, obviously. I do feel like if most people who are complaining about it were in my position, that they wouldn't be complaining themselves. I've been given information. Why should I have to hold it in myself and not tell anyone when the guy telling me to sending me the stuff is saying post it?
Yep.
I want to see people's reactions. I want to see the hype. And I was like, okay, well, that's fine. Like, as long as you're okay with it. And he was like, yeah, I want you to show this stuff.
Yep.
I can definitely see why people get annoyed with it and angry or whatever, because you know there's obviously going to be a slight jealousy to it because they probably want the information themselves. But it looks like I'm going to be set to be receiving information all year almost, or at least I would imagine I would hear about something with this particular guy, but you won't see it.
Yeah.
Because
I think that's the important thing, because like, and as I said this earlier, kind of when I kind of brought this question up, like, I don't have a problem with you leaking this stuff prior to the game and prior to there being a massive prior to this kind of thing. But this is kind of a little bit of meme in the community, but when Footmas got leaked, the whole community was so triggered.
And I was as well.
Yeah, because it's an in-game thing. It's something that's happening right now. Whereas something that's like happening in the future, don't really care too much about it, you know.
No, I don't. And the ratings on there, they mean nothing. You're gonna know about them all when the game comes out. You're gonna know about them when EA announce them in a few days. It's not like there's some secret super promotion that's coming out. Like, if I'd known about a promotion that's coming in November, would I hell be talking about it?
Yeah.
Not only that, there's a part of me that doesn't even want to know those things.
Yeah.
But there's also a part of me that's like, well, it's cool to know things early, and most people do want to know promotions early, not only for their own benefit, but just to kind of know what's going on in the market. Is always nice to know that your card's not going to get fucked by 50% because they got a new one coming or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, so the stuff that you're seeing now is harmless to me. I think people are being just a bit wet, really, aren't they? Just a bit sensitive over the things.
Yeah, I think
anything during the game. Let's get this straight, okay? You ain't gonna see it from me unless it affects nothing, unless it's just some stupid kit or something really, really small. Or I'll always post news and updates and things like that. If something gets out, then it's got out, then that's fine.
Yeah.
But you aren't gonna see the things that I'm given throughout for promos and things like that. You ain't going to see it because I don't want to be the guy affecting the market. That's not what I'm about.
And I think that's really important. And I think what Matt just said in the chat, like, leak before the game, sorry, enough leak even an hour after the release, and the community will have your balls reference. Exactly, like that's. I think it's very important to kind of say not as I said earlier, but leaking the stuff prior to the game even being out. I don't give a shit. It's cool, and it's actually added more hype to me for my interest, because there's cards that I'm seeing now that I'm like, oh, I want to try that guy out, kind of thing. It sounds really fucking weird.
Yeah, and it's not like it's all of them either. There's a lot of cards that aren't being talked about and won't be shown until the full game comes out. But you're seeing cards get massive downgrades, like Rodriguez. You're just like, wow, if he's got 55 pace, what's Mustafi going to have next year? It's going to be.
I don't know why
it's going to be painful.
Has been downgraded that much because of if you looking at the other players like that Sancho increase. Like that it just doesn't make sense to me personally. I don't know.
Oh, it's mad, isn't it? When he sent me the card and I seen it, I was like, I actually laughed. I was like,
Yeah.
all right, now you can send me the real one now, mate.
Yeah.
Come on. And he was like, no, I'm not actually joking. He's literally got 55 face or whatever it was. I was just like, nah, come on. There's no way. And he was like, yeah. And then he had the same sentence. He was like, but Vidal's got a pace upgrade. I'm like, what's going on?
Yeah, it's pretty mental. That Vidal card looks absolutely crazy. Like for an 84 rated, like, and this is one thing I'd love to know as well. Like this is something I think everyone wants to know, how they actually choose ratings for players, because there's so many players which are like, you look at their overall stats and then you look at their rating. It's like that doesn't match at all. It doesn't go hand in hand at all. And I wish that was something they did make happen. To where like the higher rated cards are just the better cards. You know?
Do you want to know how they do it?
Yeah, let me know, mate. Let me know.
So, it's not done by career at all. So when people see a card who was really, really good for the past 2 years, they're like, well, doesn't deserve to be this low. It goes entirely off the season. There is nothing to do with career involved at all. The stats and card ratings are all decided on that particular season.
Okay.
So just trying to think of an example. Who's got a downgrade this year?
Well, why don't you go with Rodriguez?
Well, yeah. See, the thing is with Rodriguez, everyone was like, he's got 3 informs. Why has he got a downgrade?
Yeah.
It's like because over the season, he was analysed over the entire season, and they found that everything that they rated him at came at that rating. If you understand what I mean, they don't actually look, which explains why Sancho got such a big upgrade, because they don't actually look at their previous rating or stats. That's irrelevant. They make a new database, so they'll go from. So they didn't look at it like we look at it. So you look at Sancho as like a 78 card, and then we laugh because somehow he's got a +6. We're like, what? Yeah. How has he done that? And then, but it's not a development. It's just literally they've taken it from this season and they go, okay, he's an 84 rated. Something that I think people are a bit confused about in terms of they kind of associate as a progression from last season, like a career thing, rather than it just literally being split and it's that season and that's it.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think Adam AMT HD just said like Alexis Sanchez got downgraded from form, which is fair. I think that's a completely fair downgrade for sure. I think because he's been pretty abysmal this season, hasn't he? And
I think he's like an 83, isn't he?
Yeah, like -4 down.
Like he's been slaughtered as well.
Yeah, absolutely ripped apart. Yeah, I think that's good. I think that's pretty fair. I think that answers kind of what we were going for. There definitely is, as Matt kind of says again, kind of the whole looking at kind of like, so you of course you've gained a lot of following in the last kind of 2 weeks, and is that right because of what you've done? I personally, as I said before, I don't have a problem with it. I don't see why it's a problem. I think the fact that you started off with the trading stuff and you're not one of these accounts that's creating an account just to leak stuff and then you're going to turn it into an trading account. If that makes sense. No,
and obviously I had a base before that as well, didn't I? So it's not like I've gone from zero. I get it. Obviously, I've the past week has been insane. I don't even look at it anymore. It just happens. People seem to care more about it than I do. Like, I don't care. Like, as soon as I hit 1,000 followers, I felt better than I did when I hit 10,000. After a while, it just doesn't matter. You just kind of want to bring content out to people, and it doesn't really matter if. Obviously, it matters if they like it and things like that. It's fun to see engagements and hypes and things like that. But at the end of the day, it's just a number. And to be honest, it's nice to make content that you want to make and do the things you want to enjoy doing. Life is. It's a bit too short, isn't it, to think about numbers and things like that.
And other people's numbers though as well. I think that's kind of a key thing. I think there's a lot of people like to concentrate on what other people are doing. And I do this as well. I do this too much personally myself. I concentrate on other people's successes, and then I try and I compare my success to that, and I see a negative in that. And that's of course something that needs to change. I don't want to go like deep, but like I think that's.
I definitely used to do it as well.
And it's something kind of people need to get out of, me included, myself included. I need to get out of that kind of mental state, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. I don't really see it like that anymore myself, but obviously when you're first starting up, you kind of look at people and you're like, wow, you know, how like people with like bigger followings already, and you're like, you aren't getting the interactions and things like that other people are, and it kind of puts you down a little bit. And I can see that from certain people. What Jake just said as well, I'll just talk about that quickly. I will shut up in a minute. He just said about giveaways.
Yep.
So that is a good point, because a lot of the people, I don't want to talk about it too much, but a lot of the people that have had a problem with my content for the past week are the same people that run giveaways to get followers. It's like, it's not the same. Like, you're trying, if anything, harder to get followers by pushing it out there.
Yeah.
None of my. If I really wanted to do this for followers, you would have known about it, because I properly would have advertised the hell out of it.
Like when you release Hazard, and I was actually surprised how kind of freely you release Hazard's rating. But like you could have been like, I want to hit 25k followers before I release him, and like I release.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Or like when I hit 30k, I'm gonna release Messi or something. Like that kind of thing. It wasn't like that. Yeah.
Also, too often we focus on things being, see on Twitter, too often we focus on things being the trading community, when in reality, there's no such thing as the trading community. We're just loads of individuals posting things on Twitter. So, see when people have followers or where people tweet stuff, it really doesn't affect anybody else, because it's just someone running their individual Twitter account, however the fuck they would like to run their individual Twitter account. Where sometimes we compare ourselves to others within the trading community. It seems like this big thing, when in reality, it doesn't actually exist at all.
Yeah, no, yeah. People have got a bit caught up, I think, in this whole community thing. People act like it's like life or death between what people post, and I'm all for no shady shit like stealing and things like that. That's just normal human decency and things like that. But people they're a bit too sensitive, a bit too clingy to the whole, oh, this is the trading community and things like that. And like, yes, we are all a part of a FIFA community. That's what we're all part of. We play the same game.
We're all fucking nerds, is what
we are.
Yeah,
literally.
Pete just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, bunch of
nerds, a bunch of nerds posting things on Twitter.
That's exactly
not me though.
That's exactly,
everyone else is, but
not us. Dust is a recovering
alcoholic.
Yeah, well, I don't want to say alcoholic, like, because what's the word for it if it's just not an alcoholic drink? Caffeine.
Caffeine addict, I think.
That's it.
I think my therapist says caffeine addict. I'm not too sure.
my Monday therapist.
I don't have a therapist.
My Tuesday therapist is something else.
I want to qualify. I want to quantify. I do not have a therapist.
Yeah, primarily just.
Not for caffeine, anyway.
Yeah.
I have a. Nah, I'm not gonna say. I was going to make a ridiculous statement, and I thought, nah, maybe not.
Yeah, just going down a really deep path right at the end of a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's pretty fair. I think a lot of people kind of agree on kind of what we've kind of said. Then I think there will of course be people that disagree with everything we say in this chat or in this podcast. That's kind of we don't want people. We'll bring up topics. I think this is one thing that, and I know you guys don't like me speaking for you guys, but I think the reason we wanted to kind of do this podcast is because we will bring up topics that people won't necessarily bring up on the podcast about the kind of community stuff. I think that's pretty fair to say. Duffs, would you agree?
Man, I do this podcast purely so I can look afterwards, check the DMs, and then read DMs saying like, "Yo, bro, why the fuck did you say that about me?" You know what I mean? That's what I live for. That's just see, without the Red Bull in my system, I need some kind of adrenaline rush to keep me going, and that's what I need.
Yeah, well, I think I imagine you probably agree with what I just said as well. But like we don't want to be this. We don't want to just go with the flow kind of thing with the podcast. We want to kind of look at it and kind of look at it from people that are experiencing it, but also an overview. We're not just trying to fit in with what works. I think that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I think we're pretty open. I think we all speak our minds. I'm probably the exact opposite of what a bigger reach account should be, because I'm very, very open. You'll find a lot of people silence as they grow in fear of not being able to work with their companies or things like that.
Dunk's going all Alex Jones on us here. Yes, some people are censored by the government, man.
Yeah. Christ. I think one more point just to finish off what Matt just said in the chat as well. The kind of like bringing money into it. I think that is, of course, like money being involved does, of course, add another kind of level of what you need to do. With all like the Patreons going on. I know you guys are both, of course, running Patreons. I'm not personally running one, but I know you both are. I think there's definitely like a level of stuff that you do have to uphold to, but it's still like even in business, everyone's like a lot of people joke about things, kind of thing. You're not. It's your brand. You can represent your brand how you want to represent it. I don't have any problem with someone representing their brand how they want to represent it. If that makes sense. And that's probably why Duff's. I mean, I've known Duff's, as I said, for like since January, I think, and like I imagine a lot of people sign up to your Patreon because of who you are, not necessarily because of your trading, because you haven't fucking traded.
Oh well, why is that then?
Because you haven't traded for the last 4 months, mate. That's why.
I'd like to let you know that Jack and Ross both made very, very good decisions in signing up with me, and us three amigos are going to run the fucking game this year.
Is Jack and Ross? Is that your mum and your dad's names?
It may be their sort of it's not their names obviously, but it's their Patreon accounts.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's definitely.
So shout out to the two guys running the
awesome.
game this year.
Awesome, right, guys.
But hold on. See on the topic of that and about how it's young adults creating new businesses and how money's involved. Sometimes that leads people to say things and act in a way that they wouldn't normally act because the people that they're arguing with is essentially their competitors. It's a community where you're supposed to be friends with all these traders, but also they're your competitors when you're running a Patreon. It's a very weird environment, and sometimes people let it get to their heads a little bit, I think.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. There's definitely. I think there's a lot of people who have. There's quite a lot of egotistical people in the community. I think that's a pretty fair thing to say.
That seems like a personal dig, Gareth, and I do not like it. First you say, "Oh, people won't sign up to your Patreon for trading advice." Now you're saying there's people with an ego here. I don't like that at all.
Yeah. Purely.
I'll not be back
in this
next week.
Well,
one thing, and now we're on the topic, I may as well talk about it, because I don't want to be.
This sounds a wee bit deep, doesn't it?
It's or a plug. It's just a plug.
You entered that quite deep.
It isn't either. It's so someone tried to post a picture of my Instagram story, and bear in mind the way I act on Instagram is very, very different to how I act on Twitter. Let's not get it, because I have to. This is actually the fault of Owen and and all that lot. They basically said you have to be an idiot and you have to play dumb to be able to grow on Instagram. And that's literally how I treat it. I treat it like it's literally a joke, because that's what it is. It's literally a joke, that platform. It's you can't take anything serious. Like I said, Rashford with a pink hat, that kind of thing. So obviously I posted on Instagram when my Patreon launched about my Patreon and my link. And I said that there was a list of ratings, including Hazard and things like that. And someone took it and they was like, "Oh, you're selling leaks." And it's like, no, I'm not selling links, because I'd already posted it on my Twitter. I wasn't hiding it. Like you said, Gareth, I posted Hazard freely. I literally posted it. It was out. Like, I didn't care. Like, people haven't. I have even gone in my Patreon and just had a little look, and people aren't joining. Most of the people are joining because of me, not because of anything else. There's people that paid
Debatable.
last month.
Very much debatable.
Yeah.
People.
I'm going to play devil's advocate here and say, fuck up.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, when I posted that Instagram picture, it wasn't. I think I got 2 Patreons from Instagram, maybe. Like, it wasn't. That's not where my following has come from. It's all Twitter, pretty much. But so last month, I had loads of people find my Patreon and just subscribe. And I was like, "What's going on? What are you doing?" Like, I literally messaged every single one of them. I was like, I can refund you, dude. Like, you need to realize you are literally paying for nothing. The Discord is not live yet. There's nothing I can offer you, and you're going to get recharged on the first. And all of them just said, "I don't care. I just want to support you." So I think you'll find a lot of times with Patreons and things like that, it's a lot of it will be support, not down to your ability and things like that. It's they want to support you as a content creator almost, and that's their way of doing it, like you would to subscribe to someone on Twitch, for example.
#subscriber.
Well, that's the main purpose of Patreon, to support content creators. It's not meant to be
it
selling
is.
a service of any kind.
No, you obviously, like you've got one, Duffs, you are going to be putting a lot of work and a lot of effort to bring in exclusive, almost a premium content feel to what they're getting, because they're your loyal and extra supporters that are going that further step to, make you FIFA full time or whatever your goal is to do.
We're quite a bit away from it.
yeah.
We're getting there. Don't mention full time.
Maybe half
I think
an
we're
hour
approximately
half
on.
an hour a week.
I think we're on approximately $4 a month right now. It's good. It's good.
Down the line, you know what I mean. Down the line.
In about 2025, we'll be cleaning up.
Dust isn't gonna be able to do it full time until we bloody it's like not even on the PS. Like it won't even be on PS anything anymore. It'll be on like a new console, a new meta console.
Yeah. See, by the time I'm full time in FIFA, you'll be going outside to play FIFA in your garden.
Yeah, people won't even play FIFA anymore. It'll just be like mental, like.
So it's obviously when you're making, this is a little bit of advice as well, because the last week has been pretty tough for because obviously there was a lot of new Patreon people and in #Patreon day. You just had a little look around, see how everyone was doing. Some people really didn't do very well, and they kind of got upset about it. They were like, not you, Dash. You don't give a fuck, do you? Come on.
Nah, I was like, see, if I'm completely honest, I was over the moon with 2 people. I thought, fucking get in there, let's go.
Yeah. Of course, I did contemplate doing it, and I was thinking stuff about this. I was like, yeah, no one's gonna sign up for it. it would just be me in my own Discord posting stuff.
You've got to build yourself up from wherever you and remember that the game isn't even out yet. But what I will say is, if you want committed to doing it, don't even bother. Just stay free. Literally stay free and build a base from that. There's no point jumping into it. Like last year, I could have easily started one at any point, just to jump on to what everyone else was doing. But I thought about it and was like, I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
So stay free. And to be honest,
I had the benefit of knowing that I had the content all done before September started. I knew it was a good service that I was going to be able to provide. And whether one person signed up or 45 people signed up, I knew it was going to be a good service. So I was happy enough to launch it and let it grow throughout the months that follow.
Yeah, no, and that's the way it should be. And it should always be built up that way. Yep. You should have pre-plan it, not jump into it. Because I've been planning this for a long time. And I may have started it for FIFA 19 if the game hadn't just died very quickly for me in terms of staying active with the market and things like that. I stopped trading very early on. Wasn't even after the first week. Obviously, I hit the 1.3 mil. Then the game came out, and I don't know, just wasn't feeling it.
Yep.
Wasn't feeling it. There was like a disconnect with the game. Really just didn't care to keep up with it massively. Obviously, I tried my best. Obviously, I started my account up and was trying to help people and things like that, which I have. Hopefully, I've done.
I think that's a fair point. Because I put a tweet out on this about 2 weeks ago. I think I'm just going to be doing like free content, of course, all year. I think it works a lot better for me for this kind of like the streaming aspect of it. It's quite hard to do all the streaming stuff and do everything else at the same time. I think I've been to Duffs about that too before. About that, but it's kind of a process I'm gonna go. And like, the thing is, there's so many different ways to get content now as well. Like, there's so many people doing it, as you said. It's definitely
you gotta stand out as well.
Yeah.
You've got to stand out now, because before a couple of years ago it was quite easy to develop. You can see most of the accounts are quite big from a couple of years ago because there just wasn't competition. There is a lot of competition now, and you really have to stand out. You just kind of fizzle to the bottom with the rest of them.
Yep.
Just post generic things. People like a personality.
Are you talking directly to Gareth when you say all this?
Yeah, he's like Gareth.
Gareth, you need a personality, mate.
You sort it out. Yeah, sort yourself out, mate. Sort yourself out. Go outside for a bit. Yeah. Awesome.
So yeah, I'll just cap off on, if you're gonna make something like this, just make sure you do it right and make sure you do it properly.
Yeah.
There's no. Once you're in, you're in. You kind of got to go full blow with it. You can't just, forget about it for a few weeks and then come back for a week. If you're free content, fine, but you got to remember, people are paying you for something, and you have a responsibility. As soon as there's money involved, you are responsible. So yeah, just people have got to be careful. That's all I'm trying to say. Is if you haven't planned it, if you haven't put a lot of work into it, and if you're not going to put a lot of work into it, don't even bother.
Yeah, awesome.
As Matt said, this is a business, and if you're not providing the service that you promised or that the other people are providing, you're going to lose your customers and you'll be finished. And that's going to happen to everyone in September, and then by October, I'm going to clean up because everyone will be coming. Thank you. Good night.
Right. So I know. So I think this is a really good time to end this recording here. I know this is your favorite time of the podcast right now, where you guys can plug away. So if you guys want to plug your stuff, feel free. And then
if anyone, and I mean absolutely anyone, would like to be the third member of my Patreon, you can DM me on any service. I mean, hit me up on Instagram, Twitter, hit me up on my personal Facebook.
OnlyFans.
Anything. Just come at me. Just let me know. If you match me on Tinder, sign up.
I'm tempted to sign up if you make an OnlyFans account. Just saying.
What if I make one? It's about 4 years in the running.
Okay, if you
so when I turned 18, I launched it.
Okay. Do you want to plug anything? Feel free to go plug stuff.
I wasn't finished.
No, I don't care. I'm just gonna edit your plug out, mate. Yeah, don't do you have anything to plug?
Wasn't finished.
Okay, Duffs, go in, plug away.
Finish. Just finish.
Yeah, that's me finished. Cheers.
You're such a pro.
Thank you so much.
Donk, feel free to plug away.
So yeah, if anyone wants to join my Patreon, it's now live. Obviously, was it live the last time we done a podcast? I don't think it was.
You're really saying this. It wasn't.
Yeah, I'm bored already, man.
Yeah,
Move on, Gareth.
You're really selling. I'm sure Weaver's in here like, oh, Donk is selling this Patreon opportunity really well.
Subscribe for Weaver. He's an absolute god. But yeah, we're working really hard already. There's guides in the making, daily market updates and things like that. The community we've already got in there is quite familiar to me because a lot of them were from a free Discord that I made quite a while ago, and it's weird seeing them all back in. But it's a nice little community we've got going on. But if anyone's interested in joining that, obviously it's all on my Twitter and Instagram, and I'll get Duff to tweet out in a bit.
Awesome. And then of course I'm FTGareth. Find me at FTGareth on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. I don't really have a Patreon. It's all free content on my end. But yeah. Awesome. Well, I think we're gonna end that recording there. Yeah. Do you guys? Yeah. Awesome.